Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dingers and Discourse podcast, your one-stop shop for everything Mario Superstar Baseball. We're back after a no-episode week, and we're here going strong with three of my favorite members as they showed up this week, being Matt Gree, Karazi, and Mr. Joe. Welcome on to the show. Today we're going to have a little bit of a shorter episode, just being a little bit of a wrap-up and discussion of what happened over the past week in Mario Baseball, with being Net Play Superstars, Stars on Showdown, and a little bit of tier list reactions. So we'll get started early here, saying the Net Play Superstars pools are ending. They just ended. So let's see who goes on in the bracket here. We have a couple big matchups, in my opinion. I want to announce them, being Matty Ice, Stuffed Flatbread, Clutch, Matt Gree. We still have Boomerang Bro, Ball Tour to be played. And from what we are right now at 9:21 p.m. EST on 8/4/22, we have Shabs Neku, Gabu taking down Walrus, another big upset. And then we have some more games that need to be played. Blam Transfer Chris Toasty going right now. That's another good game. I want to hear from you three. Who do you think is going to be going to top 8? If you have it pulled up right now, you can see this. It's kind of evenly organized. Who do you think would make it?
I think I'm pretty comfortable in my predictions for top 8. I think it's going to be winner side. You got Matty Ice, Clutch, and Macri is a tough one. That one can go. That's the closest one, but I think that it's going to be Matt. Clutch is going to be coming off vacation. He's gonna be getting back into things. Macri is going to be feeling good, and when you have a matchup that could go either way, it's any advantage you can get. So I think it's going to be Matty and Matt Gree. Poke Bunny's already made it, and then Boomerang Bro, I got him all over Baltor for winner side.
Now I want to hear the two others for the winner side. Let's go with Matt first. Who do you think is going to be there?
I'd have to agree with Mr. Joe. I think all his picks are solid. Me versus Clutch, that's definitely an interesting matchup. I know, sort of momentum-wise, Clutch barely limped out of pools. He beat Faceman 8-7 with a 4-run ninth inning to come back in that game. And then on my side, I ended with 2 mercies in my pool, so I know I have a little bit more momentum coming in. And like Mr. Joe mentioned, Clutch has been on vacation. I haven't been playing this week, but I'm going to hopefully get some games in, and our game's going to be either happening Friday or Saturday. So I really think if I can win that match, I have a great shot to make winners finals.
All right. Krazzy, do you have anything different?
I think I'm agreeing with everything that Mr. Joe said, except for maybe Matty Ice might not make it to top 8 is my bold prediction. I think Big Nick, he beat Chris Toasty, and I think he's got some momentum going on. And Matty Ice, don't want to call him washed, but he's not his former self.
Yeah, if you do lose that game, you have to verse Sam N, and then you have to verse Maury, and then you have to verse Matt. So you have
Not
three.
an easy path,
It's not an easy path. These people have really excelled their skill over the past couple months. So you got to have your A game, and it's a crunch time right now, being Thursday when we're recording this. Pools need to be done by Sunday, 6 p.m. top 8. So you gotta win your games, man. In my opinion, if you do win that first game, the Big Nick game might be a little easier, in my opinion. No. So it's the easier route if you win the game, obviously.
Big Nick kind of making some waves lately, huh?
Yeah, he has. I haven't seen Big Nick a lot, but in my opinion, just from what I have seen so far, I'm not like the stat wizard. I don't play a lot of games. I've seen Sam and Maury and Matt have more success.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Maury's a guy who I genuinely think that he could beat anybody. Same with Matt, but I think Maury's kind of in a better position. I think Maury could beat anybody, but he's kind of like I think mentality wise, he gets in his own head a lot, so he doesn't have the confidence of a top level player. I don't think he's a top player by any means, but he is that like higher end of the mid players, and I think that he could definitely break into that kind of that upper, the top 15 even tier. But I think that his mental game is holding him back. But I think that if he's having a good day, like he's feeling good on the sticks and whatever, I think that he could really easily make it to top 8. While Matt kind of I feel like since Matt has returned since he kind of, he had a great run in Netplay Superstars. I want to say 9, maybe it was.
Yeah, it was
maybe
9. Yes.
Yeah. He came in 3rd in that tournament, and then he kind of had a hiatus. But I feel like he hasn't returned to form quite yet. I think that Maury has been kind of playing a lot and can definitely take that. And you can't count out Sandman either. So that's kind of like the shark infested waters down there in losers. And that's actually where Toasty he was the number 1 seed, right?
Yeah, he's
Toasty finding himself in losers after being upset by who was it? Balam transfer, was it?
He got upset by Big Nick.
Big Nick. Yeah.
Oh, it was Big Nick. Okay.
Big Nick took the
Oh,
spot.
you know what? In that pool 7 though, which is Balam transfer's pool, he beat both Shabs, and then he beat Shabs for the winning, and then Shabs beat Thanners, former Netplay Superstars champion. So
lots of upsets, Pretty
early.
It's gone to show that this isn't the Mickey Mouse tournament as we thought. Everyone's playing at a higher level now. It's a lot of past thoughts that are really going through in everyone's heads. They're not seeing the true competition that is offered right now. Even myself, I feel like I've leveled up a little bit better, even in normal ranked, and I don't play a lot. So just seeing everyone, all these upsets, like a big one, Gabu Babu over Walrus, that is one of my bigger upsets. I'm right now in this bracket play. So I'm really, really looking forward to top 8. I feel like for the loser side, sorry, I didn't say my winner side. For my winner side, that Matty Ice Flatbread game is going to go 50-50. So I'm going to say 50-50 for that one. I can't give an answer for that one. Same thing for the Clutch Matt Gree one. That one could go 50-50 as well. But if I did to pick one for both of those two, I would say Flatbread, and I would say Matt, because Matt's going to be here, not on vacation. You come back, you're not going to be as focused as you were. And then for the stuff Flatbread, Matty, I think Flatbread has played more games recently. But Matty might have his A game. So again, that could contradict that too.
He's been grinding, man.
He has been grinding too, yeah. And you saw from the LAN event, he was locked in and he was focused. So if Matty can keep that same focus going on, I feel like he won the tournament. Let's go over to winners quarters. I'm gonna say Boomerang Bro over Baltor, unless Baltor has that same momentum he played on that Netplay Superstar stream that I had a couple days ago. He was locked on. He scored so many runs. I thought he was gonna kill someone with all that momentum he's getting. So yeah, with my loser side, I'm gonna pick. I want Shabs going, Caesar, Gabu, and gonna say no wait, I have to think about who's coming through here.
You gotta
you have to think about who's coming down.
It's different. Okay, so yeah, if you're coming from the top, I'm gonna say Clutch. That Caesar Toasty game's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna say Caesar still. I'm gonna say Baltor, and if Maddie's falling, Maddie. That's what I'm gonna say.
I want to jump in here. I didn't really mention my my people from losers too. I think will advance, but first, I think there's been a little bit of a discounting of Matty Ice recently. Like some people are saying he's not in his A game, but then I just watched him 10-0 T-bling in a net play game in his pool. So like he still got it. I don't
for sure.
I don't think there's really. I haven't seen a lot of Big Nick. I think I saw that Big Nick is 20-3 this season, which is certainly impressive. But I still think Matty Ice makes it to top 8 on winner side. So then going to losers, Clutch will definitely beat through. I think that whoever loses our game is still going to be in top 8. I have confidence that I can make it to top 8, win or lose my next game. Loser C, that's going to be. I think Chris Toasty makes it. He can make a loser's run. He has the comeback king. One minor loss isn't going to set him back from a Netplay Superstars top 8, I don't think. Let's see, loser F. I think I like Baltor to make it a top 8 as well. You just got to win one out of the next 2. I don't think he'll beat Boomerang Bro, but make it a top 8 on loser side. And then I think Matt makes it through. Matt's just got to win that one more, and I think he does it.
I think I think on the topic of Matty, he kind of goes through these waves where he's working a lot. He works during the MLB season and he doesn't get to play a lot, and people kind of forget. And then he comes back and he starts smacking everyone around, and that's just like it's a cycle. And you can't count Matty out ever. He's been playing a lot lately, and he's kind of got this thing where if he's playing against a player that is not at the top of their game, not on top of every interaction, he will feast on every single mistake that a player makes. So Big Nick, I'm not saying he's going to make a lot of mistakes, but he is a newer player. He's not he hasn't been here before in this spot. And I'm not saying that means he can't advance, but I think that Maddie's just, he's got that like competitor spirit. He's a top 8 guy. He's done it a lot in this game. He's done a lot in Rivals of Aether, which is obviously a much bigger game. So he's got what it takes. I think Maddie pretty handily takes out his 2 matches to get to top 8. But then on the loser side of things, I definitely got I agree on Baltor going through. I think that Baltor might drop. I think he could be Boomer, but I think Boomer wins. But Baltor over Gabu is that's a pretty easy one, in my opinion. I think Toasty's got the losers run coming. I think that it's hard to count out Toasty ever. He's the number 1 seed for a reason, and it's a reason other than the top 5 players dropping out. And, no, but really, he's got what it takes. So Toasty versus C's is going to be a great game. But I think that Toasty's that guy. So I do think he takes that side of things. And then, I think I got Matt. I think I got Matt on the other side of losers there. I really think that he has what it takes. He's been there before. He's been in that top 8 before. He's made a nice losers run before. He could definitely do it again. So we got Matt. We got Toasty. I have Clutch easily. The loser of Clutch and Matt Great is going to make it to top 8. I would be shocked if that either one of them, either way. So yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with those 4 advancing there.
Krause, I want to interrupt you before you go. I just want to say, in my opinion, if Toasty streams, he wins. If he doesn't, he loses. That's all I'm going to say. If he streams, he'll win because he just has that comeback like mentality when he's streaming. You can go, Krause.
Yeah. I think my best prediction is that Toasty's not only going to make top 8, but I think Toasty's probably going to make like something crazy like losers final. I think Toasty's that kind of guy that needs his momentum to get going. And if he doesn't lose on Championship Sunday, I think he has all that winning momentum that he can carry through almost 6 or 7 wins that he needs to get to losers final. And then other things, I think Baltor is definitely making top 8. I think that's pretty safe. I think it's his first top 8 since he won his Nebulous Superstars. Is that right?
His first time out of pools.
Yes.
Oh, is that? No, that's not true. He made it out of pools.
Okay, he did.
He made it out of pools one time.
Did he?
Yeah, because Macri beat him in bracket.
That was.
Better than I would.
Let's just say he did.
Okay, I know he had been on a streak at least a two NPSS streak of not making it out of pools.
That sounds right. And then I think Macri and Clutch. I think they're both gonna make it far, irregardless of the outcome of that match. I think either one of them has the potential to make it pretty far.
I think that's almost a lot. Like I think that the path is, so they have to play each other. Obviously, the loser goes on to play Shabs or Neku. I think those are kind of like in the bag games, to be honest. Nothing against Shabs and Neku. They're both really solid players, but Clutch and Matt, you guys are on a different level. It's just where you're top 10 players for a reason.
Over 1,000 games played combined between us two.
That's insane, dude.
And
you guys really are the grinders, huh?
Yeah. One thing I will say about that matchup is, just like you were saying about Mori earlier, I think Clutch has a very easy time of getting in his own head.
Oh,
I think I was talking to Matt earlier about how Clutch, if he loses the coin flip, he gets in his own head and he thinks that the outcome of the game is already determined, which is just a bad way to think.
Because yes, we changed the draft style recently, this past season. So now it's 1-2-1, and a lot of people have been the numbers say that they're evenly matched, but a lot of people have been speculating that at a high level, the 2 top players playing 2-pick is a lot better. And I could definitely see that. I could definitely get behind that. But I've seen so many times Clutch will be just playing just grinding ranked or whatever, and he'll be like, "Oh, I have 1 pick. I lost. Game's over." And it's like, dog, you're down one top 9 character. I think that he really does get in his own head before the game even starts.
I find it funny because Clutch was one of the ones pushing to switch drafts. I'm one of the ones who was like, "Nah, let's not switch drafts." And I mean, I don't care when I lose a coin flip. I'm like, whatever, I'll play with Bowser. But Clutch, on the other hand, does get in his head a little bit there.
Yeah,
I like playing with Bowser, man. I'm a Bowser guy.
Bowser's pretty cool. I go both
That's how it
ways.
is. I know a lot of people are like, I like the Birdo PD team. Fine. Give me Bowser every day, man. Bowser bro. Whew. You still get Bowser bro in this draft? I actually haven't played a single game in this season since we changed the draft.
Oh wow.
I've only played NBA Cup and Stars On. Not intentionally or anything. I would be playing right now in Net Play Superstars if I didn't have a conflict, but it's just I haven't played it yet. But I don't know. I was a 1-2-1 denier. I didn't want it.
I have a question for everyone. Since everyone here is on the outside looking into the tournament, couldn't make it or whatever, anyone you're cheering for specifically? I know we got a lot of new faces. Probably gonna. Are we guaranteed to see a new champion?
Matty Ice.
I'd say
Matty Ice.
Maddie and Baltor. I think are
I'm
Maddie
Baltor,
and Baltor.
Baltor.
Yeah,
Maddie
I'd
Baltor.
say if Maddie makes it to losers, then there's a big chance we see a new winner.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Going into the event, I did not have a someone I wanted to win. I actually would love to see Matty Ice win. I know it's a little lame because he's already won one, but I think it would be a really good thing. First of all, Matty Ice loves talking about Mickey Mouse tournaments, and it would be really funny if he won a tournament that didn't have the top 5 players. Now, this isn't a Mickey Mouse tournament by any chance. Like there are a lot of really good players, but I think that'd be funny. But also, a lot of people, like we said before, they've kind of forgotten how good Matty is. So I think that if he came through and he won this tournament, maybe even through winner's side, I think that'd be a huge statement. But looking at the bracket right now, I got to root for Toasty. I want to see the losers run. Everyone loves a good losers run. I would love to see Toasty go on a crazy run.
Yeah, I feel like Toasty going on. That's what everyone wants after that pop-off clip. If he doesn't make a big run, that's a big hit. I feel like like I said, if he's streaming and he has that momentum of his chat, he plays in a different game. And I've seen it, being in a call watching his games and when he's streaming, watching them on the stream. So I'm rooting for him for the win. I'm also rooting for Clutch or Matt to win too. You two have always been talking about doing it. It's like a little rivalry you have too. It's kind of cool. You guys are facing each other. Yeah, I feel like there's a 20% chance that we don't see a new winner. In my opinion, I feel like Baltor's probably gonna get out in top 8. Sorry to say Baltor, but if you're not playing at that level you were, that's gonna fall since you're in losers already. We're
in your land,
in our land. From what we're thinking, from where he's gonna predict, he's in losers. You got to play in top of your A game. No mistakes at all. So if he does get out there, that's another thing. And I feel like if Matty wins, we kind of were on 50-50s there. If Matty stays in winners, I feel like he'll win it all.
I think that my winners finals. It can't be Matt Gree versus. I would like it to be Matt Gree versus Matty. That'd be hype. I guess my winners finals is Is it Poke Bunny versus Matty Ice? Not to be down on you, Matt Gree. I think Matty Ice. I think he's got it. If it's Poke Bunny versus Matty Ice, I don't think Matty Ice can lose this tournament. I think Matt Gree might be the final frontier against Matty. I honestly think that if he gets through Clutch or Matty, I'm saying, I think he wins the tournament.
Yeah.
I think if Matty goes up against Poke in winners final, he wins. But if he goes up against Boomerang Bro, he's toast. Boomerang Bro's got that explosive play style, that stars on play style. I think it goes up terribly against Matty.
Okay.
Because I feel like me and Remke have really, really good matchups against Matty. And I would say Boomerang Bro is pretty close to our same play style.
Okay.
At least from what I've seen.
All right. Anything else to add?
Oh, I should say who I'm rooting for. I'm definitely rooting for Caesar. I think Caesar's like
Okay.
one of the coolest people in the Discord, and I would love to see him win. As unlikely as it would be with him and losers, I think it would be so cool if Caesar won.
Makes it way cooler though if he does.
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, Matt? Who's your who do you want to win?
I was hoping one of y'all would say me, but I mean, I feel like I have a good
did.
shot.
Wait, what? I did.
I was like your third option, man.
Oh my god. I'm kicking you
I
out.
think you got a great shot, man. I really do think
Kicking you out.
This one.
Yeah,
Matt, Matt, you're not even in my top 2 Matts. I'm going for Matt and Maddie before you.
Damn.
And any other Matts in bracket?
I'm hoping for an all Matt top 3. That would just be
That'd be awesome.
That would be hype.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Not gonna lie.
It can happen, right? Hypothetically, or no?
Technically, yes. I think so.
Yeah, I think it can.
Top 3. It would be Maddie sitting in Grands or Macri sitting in Grands, and then the other person in losers finals. The other 2.
All right, I think that wraps it up for the Net Play Superstars conversation. Let's have a short little convo about Stars on 8 happening here. Another tournament kind of like Net Play Superstars, and a lot of the people that were up there cannot play this tournament. We had 16 entrants. Me, Mr. Joe, Karazzi being 3. I don't think you played in this, Matt, correct?
Funny enough, me and Raviannn are about to play to see who goes to play Karazzi.
Are we playing Grossity rules?
Yeah, sure.
Let's fucking do it. Okay. We'll do that sometime later. So, Matt, you weren't in this at all?
No, I was not.
Okay.
I mean, I was barely able to make NPSS work properly. I'm only able to play on the weekends right now. I didn't want to have to be stressed and join a second tournament and not be able to meet some deadlines.
Is your computer plugged in, dude?
No, and that is a big issue I noticed right when we started recording.
Yes, because your webcam's lagging. So that's okay.
I will be right back.
Okay, well, we'll talk about Stars on. It's not your thing anyways.
Get the new
Exactly.
New net player over him.
Get the new net player out.
Oh shit, right, wrong thing. Wait, where's the new net player?
New net player.jpg incoming. Here it is.
Oh man. What do you have to say about anything new net player? Awesome.
Nice.
So, in my opinion, this tournament, we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see Boomer win it all. I think he's locked in on this. He wants it so bad.
Care, bro.
He worked 18 hours, versed Brua and beat him.
Yeah.
He worked 18 hours at a medical doctor shift and came home, versed Brua, beat him, went in my Twitch chat, talked about it, and I think he went to bed after that. So if that doesn't tell you,
he lost, right? The last one?
Yeah, he lost like 2 in a row. Like the two or 3, right? Is it
He's
2
been
or 3?
to 3 grand finals in a row.
Yeah, 3 grand finals in a row. He's lost all of them.
So he lost to Thanners, he lost to Remke. Who else?
And then Remke again.
Oh, Remke's back to back, and you get to enter.
And no Remke in this one, so this is his shot to do it. I think I'm rooting for Boomer all the way. Sorry, Chris, but you got to give it to him.
You know what, man? I agree. I mean, if it's not me, it's Boomer, and I'm not taking that guy out, man.
He's just so explosive.
He smacked me around when we played, so it's just like he's such a great Stars On player. Not to say he's not good in Stars Off, because he's a solid Stars Off player too. But like Stars On, he really clicks in that game mode.
That's his game mode. That's his home.
Yeah, he became the first Stars On player to ever get to S tier on the Stars On sheet, and that's pretty impressive because in the 5-inning games you have that super high volatility where you drop one as a top player and you're going to drop a bunch of ranks. So for him to do that, pretty impressive, and hopefully bodes well for the rest of his tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
Kraz, you think you're gonna win?
I thought I was gonna win. I thought I was gonna be able to take down Toasty, but unfortunately not.
Did he give you the business?
The thing that's good is, in my opinion, I think I have a good matchup against Boomerang Bro. I think I've won like our past like 2 or 3 Stars On games, but that was a while ago, and I know he's on fire. So
yeah. Fortunately, you have to play one of 2 juggernauts going in the next round. So
I am probably gonna have to play Brua, who I did beat like a week or two ago, so I'm feeling confident there. So hoping for pretty much at best like top 3 at this point.
Brew is he's my stars on demon, man. I've played him I think 4 or 5 times in stars on bracket, and I've lost in game 3 every time. Maybe not one. And the last we played in stars on Stadium Series. We played in the Wario Palace one, Malice at the Palace, and he won game 3. He was down 2 runs in the top of the 5th, and he came back and beat me by 1. So sad. It was brutal. He's my demon, man.
Brew's got that clutch gene.
He's clutch, man. He really is.
I want to say it was stars on 3. It was semifinals back when it was just best of 1, 9 innings, and it went extras, and he beat me. It was so sad.
Damn. Yeah, Brew. Yeah. He's nothing to mess with.
Yeah.
He's the old stars on king.
Yeah, the Grosity guys are the stars on kings. You still have, in my opinion, I think the Joe Meister's gonna take on Bacon. The Maury to Joe Meister could go either way, but that Brew game, I think Brew's just gonna stomp on anyone there. Me and Joey, we're playing Grosity rules, so can go either way. It just depends who gets more dick balls. Me versus Krasy. I don't think I'll take down Krasy. It's just me. I don't think so.
It depends if you're going to be able to convince me to do Grosity rules.
I'll beat Krasy, don't worry.
Okay, so he'll beat Krasy.
Stars on.
Brew versus Joey. Brew's going to beat Joey.
He is.
I'm gonna say Boomer beats Chris just because Boomer, he's explosive. Chris beats Brew. They have a rematch, and I think just Boom takes it in 1 series.
I think that if assuming Boomerang Bro makes it to the finals, I think that Brew might have a really good shot. Honestly, I think he might.
I think it goes Boom, Brew, Chris in my top 3.
Yeah. I can see that. Which conveniently the top 3 seeds.
No, it's Chris, Boom, and Brew. But yeah,
they are the top 3 seeds.
That's mine. Anyone have anything to add for Stars On?
No, it's been a fun tournament though. You know?
Stars On sucks.
Stars On sucks. Yes.
You said it like a week ago. You liked it. I just don't. Anyways,
it's good if I'm winning. Come on, man.
Oh, dude, Stars On losing in Stars On feels so much worse than losing in Stars Off.
All right, well, we have another big thing that just happened in the community. Thank you to Sean Coakley, Mr. Cokes himself. He put out the Mario Superstar Baseball Superstars off tier list, organized by the top 25 members in the community. They all submitted a tier list to that one lovely fellow, and he put it together. So I hope everyone has it on screen right now. If you want to go see it, join the Discord linked below on this video or in the About section of the podcast on your streaming service. And you can go see it in the announcements chat. Of course, everyone should know this. Bowser in the double S tier. Only one person didn't pick them there, and they picked DK instead. Still a very, very good player. He's like the best player. I'm just going off the top 5, as I feel like those are like the most important in my opinion. So we have Bowser number 1 in SS. In S tier, it's going to be Petey, DK, Bro, and Yoshi. You guys, I know all 3 of you participated in this, I believe. So do you guys agree that this was how it should be? Any changes you would make to it?
I put out a video on my thoughts on it. So I'm not going to go too in depth on like reiterating that, but I think the top 12, 13 even is pretty solid. I think Yoshi's better than Bro personally, but that's just me. And I think Luigi's too high, but otherwise I think the list was overall pretty solid. I think around the bottom where it doesn't really matter what's happening in your bottom 6, 7 characters. I don't think Paragon was the worst character in the game.
Paragon needs to be higher. This does matter.
Yeah, but I really do think it's a solid list. I think it represents the meta pretty well overall. I think, again, minor changes like Dixie, I think is better than Diddy. I think Noki's better than a handful of characters that Noki's below. But I think it's a really solid list. And it's really cool seeing like the cumulative thoughts of everybody in the kind of like that upper tier, because it's top 25 kind of encompasses a lot of different ranges of players, because obviously like you have your top 5, you know, your Remke, Krasi, Hell's Hero, and you know who else, Cactus and Jason I think were the top 5. So you have like the top 5 there. But then, you know, your top 10, you got me and Matt Green there. But then once you get down to like 25, you're getting, you know, you're getting some different names out there with some more unique opinions and stuff like that. Because I feel as though the top 5 and then pretty much extended down to that top 10, maybe even top 12, our opinions are fairly similar. We all play the game fairly similarly. Sure, some takes are going to be a little different. Some people are going to think, you know, that Yoshi's better than Bro and DK and whatever. But for the most part, we all think the same. But then you have a player like, you know, I think, did C's finish top 10 or was he like 15?
I think he was.
I think it was 13.
Top 10.
I think it was 10.
If he was top 10, that's really awesome.
I'll get that up for you.
But he has like, you know, he's got arguably the hottest take of the entire list, because he is the guy that put Bowser at 2. And you know what? I like that. I love that people, like, even when it's a case where everyone's like, yes, this is the best character, there is still somebody who's like, I don't think so. And I think that's cool. So obviously Bowser's still going to land 1, but I like that this represents, you know, everybody's thoughts pretty accurately.
Caesar's number 14.
Okay,
last season.
Yeah, so exactly. You know, you start to get down to like that 15 spot and things start to kind of vary, because I think I'm going to pull it up, but I think that the players that are kind of in that, you know, 15 to 25 range, I think the opinions start to vary a lot more from the top 10 players.
Yeah, for me, looking at this tier list, I agreed all the way up to the 11 spot. Top 11 matched the tier list that I submitted in that order. And then my hottest take probably of my tier list, I put Luigi at 12 as the 12th best character in the game.
Sheesh.
And it's just because that bat reach and the slap's just as good as Mario's, and I bat better with him. But looking at the bottom of the tier list, I don't really play Classic, so I don't have experience down there at the bottom. But I'm super happy to see Paragoomba down at 32, just so I know that Krasi being at the top of all the players, he still can't influence the worst character out of that spot. And it's good to see people not to buy into that propaganda that Paratroopa deserves higher than that 32 spot.
Hey, you know what, man? I put Paratroopa at 28.
I didn't even put Paragoomba. Did I say Paratroopa? I meant to be saying Paragoomba. I didn't even put him at the bottom, but I should have been putting him down there. And then I looked at Krasi's stats right now because I was like, is Krasi actually good with Paragoomba? And of people, all the characters that Krasi's played with, this is unranked and ranked, with more than 10 played appearances, Paragoomba bats the worst.
Oh no!
Damn.
He's exposing me.
Unfortunate. Hey,
He came with the numbers ready, man. He's got the receipts.
I'm looking at the old tier list as well. I don't know if anyone's seen this, but it was if you follow Cokes on Twitter, in the comments, Hef put this. Thank you. This is like a big thing. Birdo, Bowser, Boo, Walu, and Yoshi were the top 5.
So yeah, Hef, for anyone who doesn't know, is the founder, or one of the 4 founders of Mario Superstar Baseball Club, which then became Dinger City, and also the Mario Superstar Baseball Club Discord. He didn't create the Discord, but came from his thing. So yeah, he's a historian of baseball for sure.
Yeah, just some like oddities that you would think are crazy. We have first Birdo at 1, which is to people is crazy. Boo 3, DK, Bro, and PD going 6, 7, 8. And then if you go more towards the bottom, you'll see Madge 14. You'll see Monty Mole and Goomba 17, 18.
Where's Peach is pretty high in that list.
Peach
right?
is at 10 too. So Peach, and Daisy are 10, 11. And then once you go down, you'll see Pianta's 32, the worst character in the game. So you can just see how high Pianta's gone. Hey, Krasi, just to make sure, Paragoomba was 28, so he dropped.
And you know what? So I think Pianta 32 is a very it's an infamous Mario baseball thing, where it's like, you know, Pianta was the worst character in the game, and he's come to like such a renaissance, and he's up to like, you know, I think he ranked 15 or something like that, or 14 maybe. I think 15.
Yeah.
15.
Which is awesome. I think he's even higher than that. But it's like, when you think about it, we recently had this discovery that, lefties and righties, their bats are different. That was found by roaming. And Pianta is a default righty, and his righty bat is almost like half as good as his lefty bat. Like, the sweet spot's so much worse. So when you think about Pianta, before we knew about Falcon Pop, before we, thought to change him to lefty, because why would that make a difference? And, also Mario Stadium having the closer right field wall is relevant. Like, that character could definitely be the worst character in the game. Like, I could genuinely see that. So I don't think it's funny because it's not one of those cases where, like, oh, you just didn't, like, yeah, it is a case where, like, you just didn't figure him out yet, but, like, everything was just like, this character sucks, and it turns out all you had to do is press the X button once and he shoots up 20 spots.
Yeah, big difference.
Yeah. Interesting stuff.
Also with Falcon Pop too, changed the game too. So
yeah,
it gives you options, because lefty Pianta still hits dingers. He's a really solid charge, but then if you want the star hit, which is so consistent, go for the righty. Why not?
Blue Blob, my favorite, my only lover in life.
Yeah, and back then they didn't know how big the dive range was and how important laser was.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, they had him as a defensive character, so
yeah. I mean,
I think it was kind of like, this is all he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has laser.
All right. Anyone?
I do like
want to add anything? Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is such a great idea, the community tier list. People have been talking about it a lot. Cokes reach out to everybody. He gathered 25 tier lists, made this cool graphic. I think he made it at least. And like this is such a great thing just to have you could be like, "Oh, what does the tier list look like for Stars Off?" And it's like, here's the tier list that we can all mostly agree on, at least. Like it's not going to be like, "Oh, check out Matty Ice's tier list, check out Remke's tier list," whatever. It's like, no, like, look at the Mario Superstar Baseball Club tier list, because that's what this is. So really, really cool stuff.
Something else I want to mention is you can see a giant gap between the 19th and 20th spot in the tier list. You go from Noki, whose average rating was a 17.68, to Bowser Jr., who's a 20.8. And so you can really see that's the biggest drop off from meta to non-meta characters. And that's where I put my drop off as well. I said I made a tier list video where I went through the tier list that I made before I submitted it. And I went there and I said, right after Noki, I put Noki at that 19th spot. And I said, right after Noki, that's where you definitely see the drop off. And I start caring less about the differentiations between those characters afterwards.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, again, you get to see 18 characters a game, and those top 19 are pretty much like, those are going to be like, the 18 characters are almost going to come out of that top 19 almost every game. Sure, sometimes you're going to see Bowser Jr., you have your Bowser Jr. fans. You're going to see, maybe you see Shy Guy sometimes, maybe you see Daisy, but really, like, I feel like 95 games out of 100, that's a lot. 80 games out of 100, it's going to be 18 of the top 19 characters.
And that top 19 is basically a top 18, because you do have Diddy and Dixie there, and both of them aren't going to get picked in most cases.
About to say the same thing. Yeah, you need one monkey almost every time. So it's really it's a game that you don't have to play within the meta strictly, but it's clear where the meta is.
Yeah. Hey, again, shout out to Cokes. Shout out to everyone that made the tier list. Super cool. We got it out. I was going to come later than expected. So happy it dropped now. Now we do something for all the newer net players. Before we end the show, we do have our viewer suggestions, our viewer comments. We're going to go from one of my Teebling from last episode saying, "Good stuff, guys. I like the idea of having it the next NBA Cup being best of 3 rounds. Has anyone brought up using a Gecko code that fixes the righty-lefty bat flip design issue? It sounds like it would nerf Bowser, but in a more useful, fair way." This was, I believe, made by Roaming, but we just didn't think it was going to be viable for competitive play correct right now.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Roaming already made the code. There's a couple bug fixes that he's made that were unintentional. There's another one with ball positions as you throw pitches that he's made, but there's no way this is ever going to supplant like the current Stars Off ranked leaderboard, because it's way too drastic of a change. For Bowser's not even going to be like top 5 most likely. You're going to see a huge shift in certain characters like Pianta. Pianta would drop way down. You'd have to rely on that Falcon Pop. Also, we aren't. I don't think it's been tested thoroughly. I don't know exactly how it affects Falcon Pop, whether it gives it to both the lefties and the righties, or whatever happens in that case. But it would just be way too drastic of a change for it ever to be like a take off as a super popular mode, in my opinion. And then it also makes the game a lot less fun, I think, because you're not going to see as many home runs. You're going to see a lot less good hits. And I think one of the things that this indicates is that in a lot of cases, the developers had in mind that people would be grinding to unlock all the superstar characters and then just play the superstars on game mode. I don't think they had in mind that Stars Off would be obviously they didn't have this competitive scene in mind at all, but from what I've seen, I feel like they were thinking that the Stars On would be something that you would do just like you do unlocking every character in the game when you go and play it. So
Yeah.
I don't see any spot for the Gecko code competitively.
So you said that you think that Bowser drops stats significantly out of the top 5 even. Doesn't he still have like insane bat reach? Is his sweet spot that small? Without
I haven't played. I'd have to.
Fair enough.
I don't know for sure either. Kraz, you know anything?
If you think about Bowser,
I just want to make sure.
I think he'd probably still be top 3. I think he'd be better than PD.
You think about Bowser, it's like he still has this crazy long bat. He's still got laser. He's still got a big hitbox. He's got a strong arm. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I do think that maybe DK becomes the best character. DK's nice.
I don't know if PD becomes like easily the best home run hitter. I think it would definitely have to be him.
That's fair. He becomes Bowser essentially.
Yeah,
basically.
But he'd be a lot worse than Bowser. Not a lot, but he's enough worse.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think in a hypothetical like Mario Baseball Tournament Edition where we fix everything and add whatever we want, maybe it's worth looking into. But honestly, I think that even though it wasn't on purpose, I think that the game that they created here is so much better than if things worked properly. Which is, I feel like, is a lot of, you think of a game like Melee. If that game worked exactly as they intended, it'd probably be much worse. So, it's a cool thing. We got a great thing going. No need to mess with it, but it's really cool that we were, Roaming was able to sit down and be like, hey, I fixed this, by the way. like I fixed the game.
It's crazy to see what we can do in this game. It's like 6 months ago before I joined here, I thought what we had is what we had, and we're going to add more stuff in the future. And then we have, hey, we can have stats collection now. Hey, we can have, better HUDs in the client now. Hey, we can texture mod. I didn't even know about that when I first joined. So it's not stuff that's being added. It's stuff we can figure out, stuff we can do in the game. There's so much more we can do. We're all going to be impressed. We're all going to want to add new things. I feel like this is one thing we shouldn't change just because, like we said earlier, that it's too drastic. But would be cool for a one-off tournament, in my opinion.
Sorry to interrupt, like basically everything. Bit of breaking news. Toasty has lost his Netflix Superstars game and he's eliminated from the tournament.
What?
He lost against Balam Transfer.
I will TO that right now.
Podcasting.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Lost 9-7.
I want to say Balam Transfer has definitely been playing some close games. I know. I saw Balam Transfer play Poke Bunny lost 3-1, so that was a close game. And then I was like, I want to play this guy. Ended up making against him, and beat him 4-3. I needed 3 runs in the 9th to win that game. So just some close games. Yeah.
Damn.
He's got the sauce. All right, so Balam versus C's then.
Might
I guess,
need to redo our picks then.
I was gonna say my boy. He was my horse in this race. He's gone.
Wow. Okay. Well, just take that 20-minute segment we had and just throw it in the trash.
Yeah. We're redoing it.
We're redoing that after this. You guys want to? I'm down to redo it after we do this.
Restart the podcast.
You know what? Yeah. I'm just gonna say I want C's to win now. He's my new, but I think that Toasty's chances were much better than C's. So I think it's gonna be a winner side victory here.
Yeah.
Like the current winner side's player. I don't know if they're gonna win from winner side, but I think it's gonna be Maddie, Matt Gree.
I don't think we're gonna get a bracket reset at all in the finals. And I'm saying that for one, as we are adding a game into the streaming set. I don't want to stream another one.
Oh, you're playing both. You're playing an extra winner side game, right?
Yeah. Hey, more content. No, I'm joking. If we have a bracket reset, it's hype as hell. And we get to see more. So I'm always down for it. I picked Caesar, so
You're in the clear.
I'm in the clear.
For now.
Caesar might better to be on upset alert with Balam transfer coming in off that big win.
It's true.
Oh my god.
It depends if Caesar streams it. Caesar's gonna win.
Oh yeah, did Toasty stream?
No, Toasty didn't stream. That's why. It's why
No,
I
he
told-
did.
He did.
No, he was just streaming.
Oh, he was. Never mind.
I think he was.
I mean,
Uh-oh.
I can check.
Blam transfer's got the sauce.
Yeah.
Watch out.
I played him earlier today, and I will say I mercied him.
Oh,
But,
he was.
Crazy's like, oh, by the way, this guy's garbage.
But
Put him in the dirt.
I want to say I scored 12 of my 15 runs after 2 outs, not of the same inning, but 2 different innings. I had 5 runs after 2 outs and then 7 runs after
That's
2 outs.
tough.
Yeah.
I'll have you know, after getting 5 runs in an inning, the next inning, Krasny was complaining about hits not landing. He got 5 runs on 2 outs, and then the next inning, he's complaining about, dude, none of my hits are landing.
That was 7-10 the score, by the way. In 9 innings. Good game.
7-10.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. So Blam transfer's trying to have a bit of a breakout tournament here.
I want to see Blam transfer top 8 now. I'm changing my pick. Caesar, I don't want you out.
Sorry,
I want to see
Cease.
Blam in. Sorry, Cease. I want to see Blam here. That's so fucking hype now. That's all I'm gonna say. All right.
You love a Cinderella story, right?
All right. Yeah, I think. I feel like everything's gonna change now.
It is, man. It is.
Just
I
the
feel like-
podcast curse.
I feel like all of our picks just mean nothing.
Yeah, I'm
y'all
so
better-
sorry, Matt. It looks like Clutch is winning
Yeah,
this
I'm
one.
screwed.
It's over.
You're fucked, dude. All right, well, I think we're gonna end it. We have one more question to ask.
No.
We have one more
Okay.
question to ask, and that's for Mr. Joe. So we asked this question to everyone on the show, thanks to our very good friend PK Kirby. In episode number 5, commented this: a dumb question I have for the hosts. If you were in Mario Baseball, which of the 4 categories would you place yourself in, and what would your ability be?
Great question. I think I would be definitely wouldn't be a power character. Oh man, I think I'd be a balance guy. I'm not crazy fast. I'm not super I'm not a sharpshooter on the mound or anything like that. But I think I am an all arounder. So balance and my ability. Oh man, I think I've got wall jump. I think I could do some sick parkour off a wall.
So you're Toadette. Okay,
know?
no one's picking you. Seems.
Toadette is a
speed.
speed character. I'm Mario.
I know, but like.
Mario.
Oh,
I'm,
not
I'm
Luigi?
more like Luigi.
Not yet.
I heard wall jump, but I heard Toadette because you're a big Toadette
Wall
fan.
jump's sick, dude. I just think that
Yeah.
if I tried to do a sliding catch, I'd break every bone in my body.
Well, it's in Mario Baseball. If you're in Mario Baseball, you wouldn't break a bone if you're in Mario Baseball.
That's true. Maybe I have never mind. Yoshi tongue catch.
Oh my god. But make it like ×2.
Yeah,
It's the
but
glitch
it's like
in the game.
still, it's like a human tongue.
Oh, I think we have to
Yeah.
end it there. I don't want to think about that anymore. No. Well, I think that's going to be it for the podcast. A little bit of a shorter episode this week. Sorry to cut you guys off at the end there, but just 4 homies cracking
man.
jokes here. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure to leave a like and rate us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Leave a review for us, and hope you guys all enjoyed it. As I always say, adios
And goodbye.
and goodbye. Thank you for watching the Mario Superstar Baseball podcast. If you enjoyed this one, you can look at the other one that will be right in front of you right here. Yes, right in front of your face. Make sure to watch that episode. I'm not lying. Please watch that episode. It's right in front of you. Just click the goddamn button.